Hollywood is currently, how do I put this, bleeding money now that both their actors and writers are on strike. Which, in all seriousness, is great to see that people are still unionizing against unethical business practices from ultra-rich studio executives. But that, I figured now is as best of a time as any to throw my hat into the ring and use this video as an in-depth portfolio to show off my writing skills to Pixar. And, I don't know, maybe you can pay me thousands of dollars to write Toy Story 5? Trust me, Pixar, this script is going to have everything you want from Toy Story 5. Not only will it continue the stories of our beloved characters from the original movies, it'll also do that whole extended universe thing that I know you're, family-friendly neighborhood mouse company. Okay, cool. It'll have that extended universe thing that your family-friendly neighborhood mouse company will love. Trust me, Pixar, this one's going to be for the kids 100%. I'd be willing to bet that even the baby could watch this movie and love it. You can even bring your own small children to the test screenings. They're going to laugh the whole time. Okay, so we open with a boot smashing a human skull. We then see piles of bodies that have been rotting for centuries strewn across the street. The camera pulls out and we see an apocalyptic Earth ravaged by the elements. We then hear our first words from our mysterious protagonist.
When they left, there was no warning. Years of neglect and ignorance, until it came knocking at their front door. But once it was staring them in the face, they had no choice but to run. Like running away ever solved their problems before. They got what they deserved. But I need them now more than ever. Whether I like it or not, I have a promise to keep.
Yeah, I got a quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
Aren't those clips from WALL-E? I mean, isn't this supposed to be a Toy Story movie? Why am I seeing video clips of WALL-E?
That is a great question, Mr. Pixar.
Oh, that's not actually my name.
Here's that whole MCU thing I promised you. So there's this one scene in Toy Story 3 where we can see Buzz has by and large brand batteries, which means that by and large exist in the Toy Story universe. So, canonically speaking, all of the Toy Story movies are just prequels to the WALL-E universe. Ergo, Toy Story 5 is set centuries in the future from Toy Story 4. Okay? That makes sense? We good?
Yeah.
Now, because this is a drastic time jump, Woody looks a little more rough around the edges than his former self. As we see more shots of Woody, we can see that he has what looks to be the remains of Buzz's arm, which is kind of like a nice little callback to Toy Story 1, you know? Woody then makes his way through the long abandoned cities he once knew, taking in the hubris of humanity. He then glances at a rundown starship and hears a faint cry in his head. Woody. He turns his head quickly to avert what seems to be a difficult memory. Woody continues marching on through the wastes. He thinks to himself,
I've always known what it felt like to be abandoned. But I never thought I'd lose my partner. His death is on my hands. Some days I wish the cold embrace of death would come for me, but we toys are not so lucky. Time is much more forgiving for a toy than it is for a human.
Woody pauses for a moment, seemingly disgusted by the very word. He scoffs to himself.
Humans. MPH.
The camera lingers on the mangled remains of Buzz's arms still in his hands. He looks up for a second to get his bearings, and notices a crumbling radio tower that, strangely enough, is emitting a faint red glow from the bulb at the top. Woody is flabbergasted.
That's impossible.
Now enamored by this mysterious light, Woody makes his way towards the tower. The journey takes him days since, he's got those little goofy-ass toy legs. But he makes it to the tower anyway. He sees a small generator, creaking and sputtering, but powering this beacon nonetheless. He looks around for any more signs of life. He spots a door buried beneath the rubble and slips through a rusted hole in the frame. Instantly, he's surrounded by pitch black. He uses Buzz's arm laser to illuminate the daunting darkness, which is kind of like a nice little callback to Toy. The laser provides him with some vision, but it's not much. Suddenly, he hears a loud crunch. He is overcome with fear, and for a moment his body tenses. It's a sound that is new, but feels familiar. He moves closer towards the sound, and sees the faint glow of a computer monitor and a towering shadow in front of it. The figure turns around, and suddenly Woody gets a flashback to him dropping down to toy mode for all those years. His body goes numb and hits the floor. The figure turns around, and it's Al from Toy Story 2. Al then lets out the loudest Wayne Knight wheeze you've ever heard while holding a giant bowl of Cheetos.
It's been a long time.
Oh, god damn it.
I thought all the humans were gone. How is Al from Toy Story 2 even alive?
So Al survived this entire time because of time dilation.
Okay, so
Let me cook! When Al discovers Woody on the floor, he turns on the lights and explains how he got here. You see, after Toy Story 2, Al fell into a deep depression after losing his chance at fortune by selling off Woody and hid in his shoe closet for weeks. Well, one day when he went to open his door, it was linked to the Monsters, Inc. universe. Upon being teleported to this new Monsters, Inc. universe, Al quickly panicked upon seeing the monstrosities of this world and passed out. When he woke up, he was surrounded by the CDA agents from Monsters, Inc. And yes, Toy Story and Monsters, Inc. are related. See, there's a scene where Sully meets Jessie, so it still works. Al panics and runs for his door back home, barely escaping the agents. But when he finally makes it back to his door, he gazes upon the ruined Earth of Wall-E. For Al, what only felt like hours, maybe even a day or two, had been centuries back on Earth. Does that satisfy your curiosity, Pixar?
well, Pixar's, it's not actually Mr. Pixar. What about in Monsters, Inc.? Boo stays in the Dora universe for a similar amount of time, and she comes back at a world that's...
Moving on! Upon seeing the very reason Al was sent to this nightmarish world, he has a complete mental breakdown.
It's been a while, cowboy.
He picks up Woody.
Who would have thought that such a little cowboy could have got me in this mess?
He looks down for a second, and rage starts to fill his eyes.
You were my ticket, cowboy. I had it made, and then you disappeared.
He rears his arm back, getting ready to yeet Woody across the room. But Woody intervenes.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, partner.
Al's face becomes sunken, as if he heard a ghost. He slowly turns his head to look at Woody. Woody holds up Buzz's arm laser to point directly into Al's eye.
I would choose your next move very carefully.
Al slowly lowers Woody.
You can speak. How?
Always could. Trust me, you're the last person I would have wanted to figure this out.
Wait, so, if you're alive, then that means all those nights I stayed up to watch HBO past 10 p.m., you saw...
Yes.
And you saw me get freaky with my chicken suit?
Which is kind of like a...
Kinda hard to forget that one, partner.
What the heck?
Al pauses for a moment and nervously wheezes.
So what happened here anyway? This still can't be Earth, can it?
Woody then proceeds to explain how the humans left Earth behind to venture out into the stars in search of another planet to ruin. He then makes a request he thought he would never get to make.
As much damage as you humans have done, I need your help. And you're the only one left that can do it. I made a promise. You see, you humans are what make us toys alive, and I need you to bring back an old friend.
Come on, man.
How does this make any sense? Aren't the toys just already alive? Why does he need Al in the first place?
Well, in Toy Story 4, the character Forky is gifted sentience solely by Bonnie wishing it to be. A fork was alive because of a human. Ergo, all toys must have their sentience given by a human.
But...
Al says to Woody,
What am I supposed to do with this? Like what the f*** kind of toy can I make with a busted-ass arm?
Woody is enraged by Al's lack of cooperation. He jumps for Al's throat while choking him out, and he demands that Al plays with Buzz's arm, to try and give Buzz's arm some semblance of sentience. What follows is 5 minutes of a grown man playing with the toy arm in the least sexual way possible. But nothing happens.
I told you it wasn't gonna work, cowboy. There's just not enough here. If you want your spaceman friend back, we're gonna need more parts.
Oh yeah? And where are we gonna find that?
I think I know just the place.
Woody strikes a match and lights up, which is kind of like a
Get up, cowboy. We're almost there. We're here.
The duo finally makes it to the ruined remains of Al's toy barn. Time has not been forgiving to this place. Sensing some tension in the air, Al tries to lighten the mood.
You know, it's funny, cowboy. I always dreamed of having a day off, but not like this.
Inside the toy barn is what looks to be a toy graveyard. Limbs scattered around the floor, loose parts dangling from the ceiling. The once lively store has now embraced an aura of clandestine horror. There's an ominous feeling of being watched the pair now shares.
Space toys should be in the far aisle. That Lightyear toy used to have an entire aisle just for him. Had to give them their own separate aisle after we overstocked on fireworks.
The pair makes their way towards the aisle when they are ensnared in a giant net trap, hoisting them into the air. From under the floorboards and from the ceilings, we see hundreds of disheveled, dirty toys descend upon Al and Woody. Even the creepy-ass baby toy from Toy Story 1 is there. Which is kind of... The toys begin chanting.
New parts. New parts. New parts.
They start to grab for Woody. One of the toys manages to cut Woody in the process. Well, I guess the toys poke Al in the eye or something. I don't know. Anyways, just as Woody is about to be torn to shreds, we see a familiar green and white hand raise a signal for the toys to stop. Woody is puzzled for a second and looks up. He's suddenly overcome with shock and barely manages to let out the words.
It can't be.
About time you showed up, Woody.
Buzz, is that really you? Buzz, I thought you were gone. We came here to bring you back.
Well, in case you didn't notice, I'm already here, and I don't need your help. Not after what you did.
Buzz, I was trying to help you.
Help me? Is that what you call it? Or is that just how you try and justify what you did?
At this point, Al could give less of a shit and is half asleep and lets out a snoring.
Huh?
That's a great question, Chicken Man. I'll tell you what this cowboy did. Woody, if I make it out of here, find me. You left me behind, Woody, on a rock with no arm for centuries. You don't just forgive and forget.
Buzz is trying to hold back tears even though he's made of plastic.
It's too late, Woody. I waited for too long. I have my own family to take care of now. Rip 'em apart, boys.
Al, reach into my pocket. There should be matches in there. You distract these guys, Al. I've got some business to take care of.
Al is swarmed by rabid toys and runs as fast as his stubby little legs can.
I'm not gonna make it, cowboy. Make it count.
You know, Woody, I always hoped you'd find me.
No matter what happens, Bose, you always have a friend in me.
The two struggle to reach out both their hands to embrace one last time. And right as they're about to touch, the spaceship from Wally Lanterns pushes them both. So, Pixar, what'd you think?
Mister, this is DreamWorks.
Oh. Thanks for watching whatever I just made. Not really sure what it was, but hey, had a lot of fun making it. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe. More whatever this was on the way. I also want to give a big shout out to one of my subscribers at Kringleberry. I reached out to him because he's one of the only guys that actually comments on my videos too, and basically asked him if he would like to help out with this video. And a lot of the artwork that you saw for this video was generated by him. He made some sketches, trained a lot of the AI to actually make that artwork based off what he created. So very talented. Thank you for your help, Kringleberry. A lot of this video would not have been possible without you. Appreciate the help. Except this picture. We don't talk about this picture. And for everyone else, stay safe. Keep doing what you're doing. I'll see you in the next one.